Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Chat Sports, and today, some fresh San Francisco 49ers news and rumors. A lot of good bits of news here as we're getting ready for championship weekend here at Chat Sports. Before we start though, follow me on Twitter. You see the link somewhere around me right now, at RealThomasMott. That way you're up to date on the latest San Francisco 49er news. Go follow me right now. Without further ado, let's go ahead, jump right in. Alright, so how's this for the first bit of news? 0 injuries to report. Pause for a second and think about this. How many weeks, how many videos have I done on this channel where I came on and talked about how this guy's injured, this guy's injured, this guy might play because this guy's injured? No injuries to report. Head coach Kyle Shanahan came on his, daily, not daily, but press conference after the game on terms of Monday morning. I know I messed that up. His Monday press conference, it's that simple. Literally walked to the podium and was like, guys, no injuries to report. We're healthy. We're good to go. It's the healthiest the 49ers have been in a very, very long time. This is huge. Remember, Dee Ford was gone for a while. Hamstring, Tartt, Kwon Alexander. Remember, Robbie Gould got injured. Staley was injured at one point. They're all healthy. They're all good to go. And they all should be playing a lot more reps going into this game in terms of the guys like Tartt and Ford and Alexander, because they've had a game, actually the Vikings game, and then another week to prepare for that as well. Obviously, the Packer game, Sunday afternoon, right now the line, -7.5, meaning we're 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45. Remember, week 12, we did beat the Green Bay Packers 37-8 in what was a absolute domination at Lambeau Field. Things might be different this time around. We'll talk more about that here a little bit later on, but I wanted to start it off with good news, because I think a lot of times we report not bad news, but it's always like, all right, here we go. We gotta talk about this injury, and we gotta talk about this injury, and then that guy's done for the year. The good news is, it's as healthy as the 49ers have been in months. They are ready to rock, and I think they have a pretty good shot to win this game in terms of against the Green Bay Packers. Before we move on, quick ad break here on YouTube. Just scroll down, answer the pinned comment. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Which Packer player worries you the most? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it Matt LaFleur's play calling? Is it Aaron Jones? Is it Devontae Adams? Which Packers player worries you the most? Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, so we just mentioned how right now the 49ers are very, very healthy. No injuries to report. The Green Bay Packers are getting healthy as well. And I thought it was fascinating to see how many players for both sides did not originally play in the Week 12 matchup. It's going to be a very different matchup this time around for both the Packers and the 49ers. So, the Packer players who were not available Week 12, the big one, Brian Bulaga, the offensive tackle. Bulaga went down early on in that football game. He went out. They brought in, I don't remember who his replacement was, but he was awful, getting whooped on the edge by our 49er pass rushers. Bulaga, back in the lineup. He will be playing on Sunday. But look at all of the 49er players who were not in the game against the Green Bay Packers, and yet we still won 37-8. There was no Dee Ford, there was no Matt Breida, there was no Robbie Gould, and there was no Joe Staley at all. And you go, wait a second, we didn't have any of those guys, and we still won 37-8? Yes, we did. Unbelievable. So yes, the Packers are pretty healthy right now, too, in terms of a lot of the other teams in the National Football League. Green Bay, very, very healthy. Not a lot of injuries to report. They will be at full strength. Getting Bulaga back is a key contributor on that offensive line, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you get Bulaga back, but we have Dee Ford and Matt Breida and Robbie Gould and Joe Staley. Those are all the big additions that we have for this game that was different whenever we played them in Week 12. Dee Ford by himself. Take a second to talk about Dee Ford here. Dee Ford by himself, after being gone for 4 or 5 games, whatever it was. I think they hadn't seen him since Week 10. He comes back last week against the Vikings, 1 tackle, and you go, ooh, that's not a lot. How about 1 tackle for a loss, 2 quarterback hits, and 1 sack in a limited snap rotation? The fact that Dee Ford is back, he has bolstered the defensive line. He has given new life to guys like Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead. I mean, these guys are ready to rock right now because they have arguably their best pass rusher back, and Dee Ford getting back out there, especially even if it's against Bulaga and those great tackles for the Green Bay Packers, gives our 49ers an excellent shot on Sunday. Before we move on, is Dee Ford our best pass rusher, or do you guys like Nick Bosa? Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no if Dee Ford is the best pass rusher right now on our 49ers. Also, you guys want to bet on the game on Sunday, use our friends BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code 49ers. You get 120% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. So if you haven't bet on any Niner game yet, you want to bet on the Niners this week, chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code 49ers. Okay, there's a fascinating article via ESPN talking about how Kyle Shanahan said in his press conference on Monday, got it right this time, that he is trying to motivate his team because a lot of the chatter on the outside, chatter from people, I guess like me, people in the media are saying, oh, you know what? You guys crushed the Packers in Week 12. It was 37-8. You get them at home now this time, Levi Stadium. You're 7.5 point favorites. And Coach Kyle Shanahan's like, whoa, pump the brakes on this one. Do not get cocky. Here's what he said in his press conference, quote, "Don't be that stupid. That's not real. This is about Sunday's game." There's so many stories like that, and this is the NFL, so no team the game before never matters like that. There are 4 teams left, and that's 4 very, very good teams, and it's going to be very hard. It's a very hard game for all of us. Love this, because, again, look around the national media, how many people are actually picking the Green Bay Packers? I have not seen a lot. They're all saying, well, Aaron Rodgers is good, and Devontae Adams is good, and Aaron Jones is good, but the 49ers are way better, and they are technically on paper, and Vegas has already said 7.5 point favorites right now on Sunday. But Kyle Shanahan also said something in the same press conference. He was like, guys, not the same Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers in Week 12 were reeling. They had the injuries. The Green Bay Packers now have won like 5 or 6 straight games. They're as hot as they come, and they just beat a very good Seattle Seahawks team, a Seahawks team that we were all scared to play next week. We were hoping the Packers were going to win. The Packers are hot. The Packers are good. We cannot overlook the Packers as confident as I am in this game, and I'm very confident. I think the 49ers defense is going to absolutely ball out. At the same time, you got to give respect where respect is needed. You got to give credit where credit is due. And I think Kyle Shanahan trying to pump the brakes on his team a little bit is an excellent idea in terms of trying to make sure the mindset is right going in the NFC title game. So maybe we don't all calm down from a fan standpoint, because we're still motivated and stuff. We at least tone it down a little bit and go, all right, Aaron Rodgers, that dude. Stephen A. Smith says he's a bad man. Remember that? He's a really good player. We'll give him credit where credit is due. I'm still leading 49ers, though, in the end. If you guys not subscribed to the channel, I'm being told by the bosses, we still have people watching the videos who have not subscribed to our channel yet here, our 49ers Only Chat Sports channel. Click the red subscribe button, click the notification bell. Don't be watching this if you haven't subscribed yet. Come on, subscribe right now. Go down below, click it, and then we can move on to our final bit of news here, which is interesting because Nick Bosa is getting claimed for a cheap shot. Apparently, people are saying that Nick Bosa's hit on the offensive lineman Brian O'Neill after the interception by Richard Sherman was a cheap shot, and he should have been fined or suspended for it. So, the hit knocked O'Neill out of the game. If you haven't seen it, just go Google the hit. It's a blindside hit. Like, O'Neill's going this way, and here comes Bosa that way, and knocks him and hits him on the ground and gives him a concussion and gets flagged for it as well. Different from like the Jadeveon Clowney hit on Carson Wentz, where there was no flag and no penalty. Mike Zimmer called it a cheap shot. Other O-linemen, the Vikings, called it a cheap shot, but it looks like a cheap shot until Kyle Shanahan came out and said this the other day. Quote, "I think people say cheap shot when somebody gets hit violently, and to me, cheap shot means your intent is to try and hurt someone." I don't think he's thinking about that at all. It's a normal block in football for a very long time. Here's the deal on this. Listen, Nick Bosa's not a cheap player. Nick Bosa's not taking cheap shots. He's not Ndamukong Suh. He's not, honestly, Jadeveon Clowney. He's not one of those players that's trying to hurt you in terms of physically get you out of the game week in and week out. Was the hit illegal? Yes, that's a blindside hit. It's not allowed in the National Football League. Nick Bosa should know better. He should not do that. But in terms of calling it a cheap shot, I think it's a little bit ridiculous overall. I agree with our head coach, Kyle Shanahan. It was the wrong hit. It hurt the guy. It gave him a concussion. We shouldn't want that. You can't hit guys blindside as they're going to tackle somebody and hit them from behind, lower the shoulder, whatever it was. But to say that Nick Bosa was, maliciously trying to knock out Brian O'Neill, no, that wasn't it at all. I don't see it as a cheap shot, but it still was an illegal shot. He doesn't need to be fined, doesn't need to be suspended. The penalty on the field was correct. They got it right on the field in terms of the NFL referees, which is rare this year, but they were able to get it right, so I'm on Kyle Shanahan's side. That was not a cheap shot. What do you guys think? Was Bosa's hit a cheap shot? Type 1 down below for yes. Type 2 down below for no as well. Before we wrap things up, there's a couple of news. People are talking about how we're the 85 Bears and how, we were the best defense they've seen in a very, very long time. Go ahead and throw up the graphics. Go ahead and throw up the side-by-side for Packers versus 49ers again. The line, -7.5. The over-under, yes, we see it right there. It's sitting currently at 45. We're the favorites. I'm picking us. I think we're going to be great. I think we're going to win. But remember, the Packers are no slouch. Remember this going in. I think Kyle Shanahan got the message across to our 49ers saying, hey, listen, these guys are good. Don't worry, don't overlook them. I wanted to get you guys that preview in here today because I'm not overlooking them, and neither should you, but I am picking, obviously, our 49ers to win. Also, lots of great San Francisco 49ers gear. Here's our link. You guys always do this every single week. Down below in the comments, check it out. chatsports.com/NFC West. Get yourself some 49ers swagger. That way you look good when you go to a watch party or the NFC title game. Hopefully you're going there at Levi Stadium. Again, the link, you see it right now, chatsports.com/NFC West. Go to the link, get your gear. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, before we finish up, we're going to do a live Q&A tomorrow, either at 6 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Not sure what. I think 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Live Q&A here on the channel. So subscribe, notification bell. That way you guys can get your questions in. I'll be live, and we'll talk about 49ers for about 30 minutes here on the channel. So be sure to be ready for that. Again, tomorrow, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time is the time to join in. So again, if you subscribe, you'll be notified whenever that goes live. All the time we have for today. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott signing off. We're healthy. We're feeling good. We're favorites. I think we got the right mindset. I am as pumped as can be right now this week for our 49ers. A couple more days until the NFC title game. Hopefully that means a Super Bowl berth as well. We'll obviously have to go ahead, wait and see. Again, for Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.